What's up, guys? It's your boy James, aka 68J, coming to you on this Tuesday. It's 5:15, guys. We're a few minutes late. I have to apologize. I was in my second office. We're not going to go there. Just pray for me. That's all you need to know. I got some incredible guests, guys. I got my brother, Crypto Navigator, Frankie Legend, and DJ Jazzy XRP. What's up, fellas?
What's up, James?
What's up,
Guys, I am super excited. I mean, can we be any more excited with the fact that the market's where they're at right now? What are you guys' thoughts right now on Bitcoin sitting at 71,464? Didn't it just seem like months ago we were at 30-something thousand? Like maybe we'll get to 40. Just as crazy.
I think most of us were probably expecting about a 50 to 55K Bitcoin at this point in time, this early portion of, what we know is going to be the halvening. I don't think anybody really was expecting this, and that wasn't in the know. And it makes perfect sense, because usually the opposite happens. What everybody's thinking, sentiment goes one way, and they pull the other string. And it's funny how everything's kind of lining up. If you've really been paying attention to a lot of the charts, and you get with guys in the community that they're in the know as far as charting and stuff, like Cypher that you had on your channel,
right.
As part of my community too.
Right.
It's great to have the collaboration, because you're getting all ends of the spectrum here. And, that's kind of what I do. Like when I do my show, I try to bring all that collaboration in like one space. So, people in the community just have lots of knowledge. You just kind of got to tap into that. And I think that's what we're doing as a collective right now. So as far as Bitcoin price, I love the bullishness on Bitcoin. It's going to take us there. All boats are semi going to rise for the most part. Slowly would be great, not all of it once, because there's a lot of money still going to be coming in this marketplace.
I agree.
And to pump the bag really quickly and really fast, that's when you get a lot of people trying to liquidate and cash out. And it would be better just to have a nice little rise up for the next few months, get some of that major liquidity in the market so people can cash out, and there's not a shock to the system, a shock to the market. We have a pretty much a steady flow of progress on this last speculative bull run I think we're probably in right now. So
no, that's great. How about you, Frankie? Your thoughts on the market? And here's the thing too, guys, even though and I'm actually right now I'm tweeting this out and sending this out to everybody right now as you guys are talking, but not only is Bitcoin at 71,000, what about the fact that some altcoins have moved, but it's not really. I mean, you got to imagine last time Bitcoin was at 68,000, everything was booming. I'm talking about booming. And right now we're getting just really a taste of where the market could go. And I think it's just me personally. I think it's just because we're having a little bit of a FOMO session based off of Bitcoin ETFs and other things. Bitcoin's still so chaotic that maybe altcoins haven't had a chance to really explode. But what are you guys' thoughts on that, Frankie?
Yeah, actually, I anticipated Bitcoin performing very well after the ETF due to after looking at the gold ETF. I think it surged, like it was 250% increase in price. I was expecting Bitcoin to have like a similar run, not exactly. Obviously, not everything is that you can't compare everything, apples to oranges, but I did expect Bitcoin to do very well. Obviously, I'm not psychic, so I didn't predicted to break the all-time high before the halving.
Right.
But someone on YouTube was talking about how it was the first time Bitcoin had broken the 200 EMA or SMA on the the weekly? I think it was. So it's kind of makes sense for it to kind of break the pattern the opposite way, right? Because it was so oversold. And then you had times where we had bullish divergence on the weekly, we had bullish divergence on the monthly. It was just it was like a perfect storm for a bullish scenario, like how the bear market was a perfect storm for a bearish market, right? So I'm definitely surprised the way it's performing, but I do to your point, I do like how some altcoins have not actually run up yet, and that's good. That's more buying opportunity for us, because we really haven't seen euphoric altcoin prices yet. So that's good. That's good. I love that.
Right? Oh yeah. Go ahead, Jazz.
I agree. Yeah. So what I was thinking is, if Bitcoin didn't get the ETFs, then I think we'd probably be sitting at like a 55, 56,000.
Oh yeah. Yep. I think you're right on the money. Yep, I think you're right on the money with that.
Because the ETFs came out, And the other thing that happened was the demand just skyrocketed. And, when the halving happens, then obviously there'll be less Bitcoin produced per time, whatever time span you want to use,
Right.
that's going to propel it even higher. And I think that, by the time the halving happens, I'm not into price predictions, but I think we can go north of 100,000. And I think that's when the altcoins will really run.
Oh yeah, no, I think you're right. I think that's when a lot of money starts. People start taking profit, and they start moving those monies over to altcoins, and typically that's what we see happen. I think that the narrative that I'm still looking at is the fact that this is something, and I talked about that earlier on my Crypto for Life channel on YouTube. We do lives, every single day, and one of the things that I talked about is I said, we let's not forget that every time around. Right before the halving, as we get up to this point, we have a run up, and then just before the halving, we have a pretty good little retracement. Now, I think the only thing that, and this always been that way, and then we kind of capitulate and we move sideways for about 4 to 6 months, and then boom, there goes that huge bull run, right? And so the only thing that changes all that, and maybe it short, and here's what I'm thinking: it could be several things. Number one, it could shorten the time from that 4 to 6 months. It could maybe happen sooner than that. And number two is obviously we're used to like DJ Jazzy XRP says, I thought maybe 50 something thousand. I think most TA guys were like 50 something thousand, but I think Bitcoin ETFs changed that narrative altogether. And that's what makes it really uncertain. And honestly, that's what makes it, in my opinion, for those of us who have a plan, for those of us who have our different bags, some that will take in profit, some that are long term. I don't think we're really worried. But for somebody that's new, look, I would not want to be new in this market right now. I'm gonna be honest with you. I would not want to try to figure it out, time and tops and bottoms, and let my emotions get the best of me. This can drive you crazy, and it's a good thing. But I can't tell you how many times great moments like this wrecks people because they don't have a plan in place, and their emotions get the best of them. Guys.
Yeah. I learned a quick lesson on that real quick is that I think it was around 2017 after the previous halving. I remember, let's say I did some work or somebody, or somebody sent me money on Cash App.
Right.
I would just throw it into Bitcoin and, get, 8%, 10% over a month thinking, oh, this is like a savings account.
right. Right.
And then, Cash Out when I needed to do this, that, or other, or pay a bill. But then I learned quickly, I was like, okay, you're only in it because it's the happening right now. And that's why you're seeing these like 8%, 6% gains on a daily basis or on a weekly basis. But that's not reality. That's just for a
Absolutely.
short moment in time. So, yeah, I
I agree.
learned that lesson myself.
Yeah, no, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Alan?
Yeah, man. It's going back to what Sean was just saying. I was in the same situation back in 2021, waiting for the bull run to happen, getting in a little early, not too early, and FOMOing in also on XRP when it hit almost like $2. I almost did it. I didn't. I bought most of my crypto under $1 of XRP, but I assumed that let's say half the community that we were probably getting some type of regulation hint or something coming. And ever since then, it's been a learning lesson for me. I personally have doubled down. I invested all my profits into back into the utility based assets for conservative reasons with the market sliding down. I just knew it was better to, consolidate everything in utility based assets like XRP, XLM, and HBAR, things like that, and dig deep and spend the time, learn the real knowledge that people weren't learning in the bull market. They were just paying attention to the pumps, learning the fundamentals, learning what crypto really is, what it's about, where the partnerships, where the agreements are, where the contracts are, where the licensing agreements that these blockchains are actually needing, to believe it or not, there are still agreements that are having to be made between even states. Like I think we're up to like 24 licenses here in the United States to use crypto. So for just XRP. So we still have a few laggards left, I think it's going to happen pretty quickly, but that's also part of not just stablecoin regulations, but licensing agreements to use in each state. So that's really important. A lot of people don't even pay attention to that, but that's something you learn in a bear market, with a lot of time on your hands and Also, I put a lot of money on the side, losing money, I mean, by not paying attention and doing some trading. You know,
Right.
there's a lot of things that can be
Yeah.
done in those day trades during the bear market. So those are some of the really things that I really wanted to hyper focus on this year, because even though we're in a bull market, we are going to have, like you just were talking about, 20-30% corrections. We have every single time in a
Right.
bull market. So expect that to come. Also another great buying opportunity. So
No, I agree. I agree with you on that. Before we move on, shouts out to some of the people here in the live stream. I always like giving recognition. Quincy Butler's in the house. We got Joshua, Dad Bods. I love that project, guys. I met those guys when I was out there in Sonoma County. Cool concept, connected to drinking and dad bods and all that good stuff is really cool. Appreciate you guys. Marvin Davis in the house. We got Devon Steve. What's up, my brother? Good to see you. Crypto Navigator, my man, sitting here with us as well. Appreciate you, my brother, for being on. Frankie Legend, DJ Jazzy XRP as well. We got Dr. Sheba in the house. We got Shane Sullivan, Dave P. How you doing, Dave P? My sister, Tiffany Serranos. Appreciate you in a major way. We got Crypto Tropics. What's up, Crypto Tropics? Good to see you. Mike Owens, my brother, right here in Las Vegas. Tony Bags in the house. What's up, Tony Bags? Ness Force. Got a house full of people right now, guys. Appreciate you guys in a major way. Let's keep it going. So, Frankie, same comment to you, my brother. What do you think about, where we're at?
I feel pretty good where we're at. I think it would be difficult for someone new coming in.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've been through the bull market. I came in late in the bull market in 2021, so
Okay.
I made a little bit of money, but I didn't know when to take some profits, and then I
Right.
kind of got my butt whipped because everybody's like 100,000 Bitcoin,
Yeah.
20,000 Ethereum. You're hitting all these outrageous prices.
Yeah.
You're watching all the mainstream YouTubers who are shilling this, shilling that, and who are moon boys. I mean,
That's
they're not
right.
realistic. So I kind of got sucked into that, and I kind of lost my butt a little bit, but it was a lesson learned.
Yeah.
I paid for some schooling there in crypto, but I think obviously, I think we still have a long ways to go. Like I mentioned, if you look back and see, gold surged 250%, right? You're seeing after the ETF, you're seeing that inflation is not really declining, which is good for us because that means the Fed's not going to cut rates. Because
Right.
every time they cut rates, there's a crash in the stock
Right.
market, which would come down to us eventually, right?
Mhm.
So I think that's good. That means
Right.
that more than likely they're going to kind of kick the can down the road, maybe into 2025, right? Because
Right.
we're not expecting them to start making, printing money or cutting rates this year because of the election year.
That's right.
They kind of want to keep things status quo and even, right, and not create an unfair advantage for whoever's running against Biden, right?
Right.
So
Exactly.
I think I don't know if it ends early or not, but if it
I don't
goes
know.
up to 200% like the gold ETF, then we still got a long way to go, right? I mean,
Yeah.
we're
No.
talking close to 200K
Yeah, no, I agree
BTC.
with you. Yeah, I agree with you, and I think we have to look what all the people that are saying. Like I said, it just things are different. I mean, when you look back at history and the way these heavens have played out and everything else, we didn't have what we have today, which is crazy mainstream adoption. We don't have institutional adoption yet, which is what a lot of the utility coins or ISO 2002, those type of coins or what have you. We haven't gotten to the needs of, like, let's say XRP or XLM or those things that right now I think those coins are just following the market, and that's why every time Bitcoin sneezes, I mean, and literally sneezes, I mean, like XRP was looking so good, 74, 73 cents, hanging on to somewhere between 72, 74. And Bitcoin just sneezes, goes down to 68. And I say sneeze because even though somebody might say, well, that's like $4,000 for Bitcoin, that's nothing. I'm telling you guys, the bigger that number gets, when we start getting into like the hundreds of thousands, you might see a $20,000 or $30,000 sneeze, daily. I mean, you just don't know. And so I think the higher the price, the bigger the retracements. And I think that's why until and I think there's going to be assets that do well. Ethereum's been doing very well with, and even when Bitcoin trips out a little bit. But some of those coins that seem to retrace pretty hard is XRP and those like that, and others not so bad. But I think that's really what's changed is the mainstream adoption. And I was always raised. Look, I didn't invent anything. I didn't invent car lots and cell phone stores and how to be. I just followed big money. I just did what big money and what made sense to me. And so when big money starts getting excited like this and big money starts moving in, I think like I do streams where I'm on with my guy Edo and I'm on with Versan, and obviously they're not very favorable when it comes to Bitcoin. Where I hold some Bitcoin, I'm very diversified. I know a lot of times it sounds like, oh, I'm preaching XRP, and I think there's a couple reasons for that. Number one is obviously I have XRP and I have a lot of XRP. I have a lot of different coins. But I just don't like injustice. I don't like when people are bullied. I don't like when people are being picked on. I don't like when the government has a facetious agenda. I don't like when the little guy is set up to win and the powers that be are keeping you down. And I guess as a kid, I felt that way on welfare when I didn't have a decision. I felt that way coming up in just different parts of my life until I challenged everything. And so I think that's why I harp on XRP so much, is just because, I mean, you give me another coin that's been picked on and that's been as ridiculed and mistreated, then I'll be on that as well. That's kind of where I'm at. Where are you guys on that, guys?
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. Go ahead, Sean.
No, I was going to say, I agree. It's funny that you brought up the analogy about getting picked on, because XRP, the token, and the company Ripple has been picked on since 2018, since before the Hinman speech.
Right.
And I remember there was Brad Garlinghouse and Joseph Lubin were on a panel, and they had this little back and forth, and and Brad Garlinghouse says, I believe that as a company, we need to be completely transparent. And Joseph Lubin says, I think, we practice internal transparency.
Right.
That was a huge red flag of what was to come in terms of bullying Ripple, the company, because the bottom line is that Ripple, the company, was doing everything right, in my opinion, as a company should, and positioning themselves to, make inroads. And I think somebody got a little upset and jealous about it.
Absolutely. And you're right on the money. Sometimes I look at what was done to XRP as like when a bunch of kids get around another kid on the schoolyard and that kid's getting picked up, maybe he's getting beat on. Everyone's just sitting there staring and laughing. You got a few that'll help out, but the majority is just sitting there laughing. And I feel like that's how a lot of people are. They just continuously pick on XRP, yet they see, who's behind it. They see, the utility. I mean, look, you can't deny what's in front of you. You can't deny. But I think it's easier to just pick on it because you want to pump up the things that you're more interested in. And I think that's a lot of times what people are seeing with XRP.
And now those kids aren't laughing anymore because the principal came out, i.e. the federal government, to try to, squash everything.
Yeah. And I think, like I said, I think it's going to have its day. But I think something that Versan and Edo said, and it's something that Frankie just said as well. I think they're going to keep kicking this can down the road to prolong, the inevitable. But and I heard someone else say that they feel like the skies are going to clear in 2026 just because of that narrative. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. But again, because I'm a long-term holder, I'm just enjoying the ride. Frankie and Crypto Navigator.
I'm just going to say, in my opinion, right now, what I see is going on with this stalling of innovation is just, I think United States government is just not only wanting Congress to actually push, regulations for it, but I think they're waiting for the other countries to just go ahead and do what the plan actually was. And that's kind of like the go moment. We're starting to see like Russia, China, we're starting to see Dubai, like get everybody kind of on board, literally break the system.
Yeah.
We witnessed that recently. I think that's the catalyst. If we never had that catalyst moment, I don't think we could be at the moment we're at right now. It's all kind of aligning. Everything's coming together. Europe's got all their regulations in place. So, I mean, we're really the last laggard, but at the same time, it was that control mechanism, the SWIFT system, the sanctions, all the other things that are going on that were going on that aren't anymore. As a matter of fact, Saudi Arabia put some type of sanctions on the United States just recently, like this week.
Right.
So for the very first time, we're witnessing the power being taken away from the American dollar stronghold on the rest of the world.
Right.
And I think, people say there's a long time to go. I'm going to have to disagree with you, because if the stronghold is no longer here, United States dollar is the stronghold of the whole entire world, or what used to be, in my opinion now. how much longer is the rest of the world going to stand by and say, okay, we're just going to abide by what the United States is going to do to us on the regulations? Why would they not just jump ship and move into a whole nother asset class that they already know is going to be the future, in my opinion? So I don't think it'll be more than a couple years at this point, now that the pendulum has been pushed, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think we're still forgetting one of the main components, and that is we got to get some type of clarity. I mean, we can't operate with this confusion and not having the answers we need, no clarity. I just, no matter how, and maybe things get bad. Maybe that's kind of what you were saying, Alan. The worse things get, the more they have to push it, because I personally think the worse things get, the more utility coins like XLM, XRP, HBAR, Algo, and those coins shine bright. But we still got to have some kind of clarity, because I think once we get that clarity, when we'll start hearing. Somebody made a comment not too long ago, I can't remember who it was, where I think there's a lot of things that we see, and we're excited about the medicals, and we're excited about this, and we're excited about that. But I think there's a lot of things that we don't see that's probably even more exciting. And those things probably, maybe they're NDAs, maybe they can't be announced. I think I really think it's the things behind closed doors, or the things that are sitting there waiting. I think that's the flip of the switch moment. It's not what we see, it's the things that we can't see. And I think it's so abundant, it's so big as far as those partnerships and how it's going to be implemented. Maybe it's, you've heard Swift say, or you've heard people say, it's not that XRP is going to replace Swift. It just makes it better. So if any of those things play out, I think it could be used, but I don't think we get there until either severe pain, maybe obviously clarity, and then obviously we see some of these other things play out with ETHGate and or the downfall, or whatever you want to call it with Tether. I think that's going to be. I'm still going to hold on to those two spades, which is the King of Spades, which is something going on with ETHGate, and the Ace of Spades, which I just think the day that everything's fully exposed with Tether, I don't know how good that's going to be. And I still think those two narratives somehow are going to play into a huge retracement. I could be wrong, but that's just my my two satoshis on that. Frankie?
Yeah, I know you've been talking about the Tether thing for a while. So I mean, I don't disagree. I
Right.
just think that things like that are going to happen in a bear market, right? I don't see them happening in the bull market. I'd be very surprised. Like, you saw, Terra unravel, you saw FTX unravel. It was already, we were already in downtrend already, and it kind of just exasperated that downtrend.
But isn't that the weird but isn't that the thing though, that everything was going kind of bad when the market was down, but then we all get isn't that the thing that can wreck so many people? I mean, right? Because it's
It
kind of
definitely can, yeah.
it's kind of easy to predict that it can happen when things are down or a bear market, but no one's really predicting, especially with Bitcoin ETFs. Everyone's looking up so high, they've got their neck tilted so high that no one's really looking back to see what if something like that. I mean, Ethereum's everywhere, ETHGate is everywhere, so I think you'll see that coming a mile away, because it's just you got Stephen Narrow, you got all these different things, but Tether, I don't think anybody really sees that. I mean, there's some of us who assume, and I've been preaching the whole Binance and all this other stuff for a long time, but it's starting to play out. Go ahead, Frank. I'm sorry to jump in there, but yeah.
Yeah, no worries. You see what happened with Binance. I mean, Tether has a bigger market value than Binance, I think, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know that they're going to be able to take down Tether. I think the best they could do is probably give them a fine. I just don't see it happening, especially in the bull market. I definitely see them, there would be more of a more it would be attacking them on their at their weakness, right, in a bear market, because that's when a lot of the exchanges and everything, they're not as liquid. So I think it would happen. Could it happen bull market? I'm not at all. I mean, I definitely can't
Right.
say it can't, right? But
Right.
I kind of see that happening after. And maybe the crypto savvy fractal does play out in the next bear market, right? Maybe he has it wrong. Maybe we are going up to 200,000 and we come
Yeah.
crashing down to,
Hey, you never know.
60,
Yeah.
70,000.
Yeah.
Maybe that happens. Maybe he just has the prices wrong. I don't know. Because the way
Right.
we're going, we're going in a parabola. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
parabolas are not sustainable, right?
Right.
So at
Right.
some point they break. So like you guys were talking about in the beginning of the conversation, hopefully we have some healthy retraces and we kind of stair
Yeah.
step up like
I
we
agree.
did initially before the ETF
Right.
news, right? Because
Right.
we were talking about it, James. We were like, I don't know, BTC established a lot of support between 25K,
Right.
30K, 35K, 40K. So we'll see.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see where
Yeah.
we end up.
Well, funny because 2021, Crypto Navigator, DJ Jazzy, and Frankie Legend, 2021, they were saying we got to 68 because a lot of tether printing. And 2024, we can attribute that to some tether printing and maybe Bitcoin ETFs, but that's actual money coming into the market. So yeah, it definitely changes the equation a little bit. And like I said, I wouldn't want to be new in this scene. I always say, if you got your plan A, it helps you get through your day. Your plan B will set you free. But yeah, I think that's kind of where I'm at with that.
I mean, let's be honest.
we
We make money off the new people, right? The newbies that come in and buy the tops and use
Yeah,
Coinbase. They don't
yeah,
use Mexi or KuCoin or anything like that. That's the exit liquidity for everyone, right? I mean,
yeah,
if that's the way
exactly.
it is, you get burned, and then you learn your lesson, and you stick around, or you jump out of crypto altogether.
yeah,
That's
Well,
just the way the game is played.
yeah,
I don't want to be devil's advocate, but I'm going to disagree with you a little bit, Frankie. I believe it's going to be the great catalyst to bring the whole market down. I mean, even Brad Garlinghouse himself said that 99% of crypto is going to go away. Why would he make a
facts.
statement like that?
Yeah,
It's the
yeah.
first question you got to ask
Everybody's
yourself
been saying
is,
that. Yeah,
now,
Yeah,
everybody's been
no,
saying,
I
I
believe
agree.
it's going to happen at like the
Mhm.
top of a bull market. It's just going to be the catalyst and the reason why
Hmm.
the Congress can step in at that point in time and say nobody can own this asset unless you're an accredited investor or make some type of harsher regulations where the average investor is not going to be able to get in. You got to use your ETF to get into crypto and or no private wallets. I think that's probably going to be the case. They want to make a stronghold on this asset class. You know it, I know it, everybody in the space knows it. So what's going to be the perfect catalyst for that? I believe it
Yeah,
is going to be Tether. I think they set it up from the beginning.
yeah,
Also, when FTX was pumping all that money into the market, that's also what made Bitcoin run. So now we have a similar situation, but in a mass form. We have 7 hedge fund managers and or asset managers bringing in large volumes of cash from ETFs into this
mhm,
marketplace. So of course we're going to be at a 70K 72K
yeah,
Bitcoin price right now, and if they get a 10x magnification on the amount of Bitcoin that's actually being printed, that's gonna
yeah,
we're probably going to get to 150K
yeah,
Bitcoin.
yeah,
And then we also have Ethereum. We know that Ethereum's going to run. It's always ran. It's usually ran after Bitcoin pumps pretty
right,
hard. So
right,
more than likely, in my opinion, I'm like everybody else probably thinking, more than likely Ethereum is going to run. And then all this ETHGate and Tether, everything's going to come out. They're going to blame it all on, it's a fraud if you don't have certain things set up, and etc. That's what I think is going to be the great catalyst.
I think a lot of people need to listen and look. You might not like Gary, and I don't like Gary, and a lot of people don't like Gary. But at the end of the day, you got to kind of listen to what the guy's saying when he starts saying a lot of coins uh, are in violation and can be deemed securities. And obviously they're having a hard time with Ethereum for I think um, personal reasons. Maybe a lot of pockets got padded, but I think the downfall a lot of these coins are going to be the early stages of ICO, the early stages of how they operated in the beginning. That are things that Ripple didn't do, things that they're saying that Ethereum did do. And I just think right now you got a lot of smart people trying to figure out how they're going to go about this because there's so many. It's kind of like how do you stop looting, or how do you stop people from attacking when there's so many of them? You got to kind of get back and have a strategic plan. But I really look it's like you said, Brad is not stupid. Ripple's not stupid. And look, you have to be two things. You have to be extremely, extremely amazing and have a phenomenal plan and a lot of things going on, guys, to spend $200 million fighting the SEC, to make all these crazy acquisitions, to continuously build and do the things they're doing, to hire some of the most brilliant people in this space, in the financial space. Rosie Reels, I can go on and on and on. You either got to be really good or really stupid. And there's nothing that makes me feel like they're stupid. And the funny thing about it is that we were all so sick and so upset. But it's so funny when you really look at it. I'm gonna tell you how karma works. They really fought a fight that eventually they were probably gonna have to fight anyway. It was just that they were picked they were picked on into the fight. So meaning that everyone, I think, is going to have to fight that doggone fight. It's just that Ripple was singled out. And I think the one thing that the SEC tried to do by going after Ripple, and yeah, it hurt the price and it hurt a lot of things, they might have actually just kind of helped the company be at the forefront of fighting their battle and getting it over with. Because like I said, they've already been winning. They're 3-0. And I think they're going to take it home. Maybe it's a settlement, whatever else. And I think once that happens, once that little battle is won, the SEC is going to say, hell no, the war's not over. And they're going to go after everybody else. And I think that's the narrative of 90% of crypto not being around long term, because they're going to turn around in a very ferocious manner and start going after everybody. And yeah, the Congress is going to step in, but to what degree? I don't think like we think they're going to. I think that we're going to get very, we're going to get regulatory clarity, but it's going to be to protect the Bitcoins and maybe the Ethereums or whatever the case may be. And then you'll have one particular coin that fought the battle against the grain, which is XRP. And then everything else, I think, is going to have a fight for its life. And I think that's where, in my opinion, a lot of people are going to get wrecked. And I hate to say that because I'm in a lot of assets, but I just think if you look at this thing, how it's playing out, it's something that Gary said a long time ago. He goes, just because XRP may or may not win this case doesn't mean everybody else is clear. And we need to listen to that. People need to listen to that. It doesn't mean that your battle has even begun or you're in the clear. And I think a lot of companies are trying, well, XRP, yeah, but that was XRP. Let's talk about what you did. And a lot of what people did were ICOs and a lot of things that could be deemed securities, which is what Steven Narev has come on this show and come on many other people's show and said, look, I warned Vitalik Buterin. I warned Joe Lubin. I told them, you know what, take the damn money back. You guys are doing some very, unethical things that could be. I mean, this is his whole story. This is what John Deaton has confirmed with his recording and his paperwork. So at the end of the day, when those things play out, you might let a few slip through, or the one who's actually victorious in Ripple. But I think everybody else has a hell of a fight in front of them.
Yeah,
I got something else. One more thing I want to add. Also, going back to what I was saying as far as them coins going away. Also, exchanges. I think we've seen a really great consolidation of exchanges more than anything.
Right.
And that's really the competition. Tether is going to be a competition. I think that's also why it's going to be taken out. And, look at how many exchanges went away since the last bull market. They come and they go, yes. But really what we're going to see is a stronghold. Like it was the on and off ramps is what this is really about. That's the way to get control of the market, and that's what's coming.
So basically, Crypto Navigator, you get, and it's kind of funny because I remember when FTX went down and Binance, was talking about buying them up, and then all of a sudden, what they really did was snitch on them in many aspects. And I hate using that word, but kind of like, hey, this is what these guys are doing. And if you look as of late, I think it was just maybe like less than 30 days ago, USDC did the same thing with Tether. They said, hey, government, look at what they're doing. Won't you question some of these things? So I think what happens is you got this company that's doing everything right. Maybe even get some type of favoritism like Ethereum got with the SEC or with the powers that be. And the thing that could really bring, because think about it, what put the SEC in power and Elizabeth Warren in the position they're in right now? FTX. That's when they stepped in. So what they may be thinking is our next big control, how would you say, guinea pig is Tether. Bring that down, make the market suffer, bring a retracement, and guess what people do? Help me, help. And at least that's what they make you think they're doing. Oh, we're here to help you guys. We can't let that go down. And meanwhile, USDC market cap goes up, and they continue this control movement they've been doing, which is just a corrupted game of chess, in my opinion.
Yeah. And to your point, 6-8, the 8 words you never want to hear is "I'm from the government and I'm here to help."
Facts. I like that.
But yeah, the whole Tether thing, it's a big issue. And the thing about it that's crazy is that, the Tether issue's been swirling for years and the SEC hasn't done anything. The FTX thing, and I remember this, being in since 2018 into 2017, is I was paying attention. I knew about Binance. I knew about Coinbase. I knew about Bitcoin.
Right.
I knew about Mexi. I knew about all these places that were exchanges. Didn't hear shit about, I didn't hear anything about FTX.
No, you're good.
Until they had the stadium rights in Miami.
Yeah.
And the same with crypto.com. I'm like, where did you guys come from?
Yeah, it came out of nowhere, right?
That's a red flag and a half.
Yeah.
So at the time, I remember being excited. Like, I think there was a Super Bowl commercial for Crypto.com, and I was just
Right.
smiling because
Right.
nobody around me knew what was going on but me.
Right.
But then you find out that, where did this come from? Who are the players? I can't study them, or haven't been able to study them the way I've studied, Ripple and Stellar and HBAR and Algorand, and even to a certain extent, Cardano, listening to Charles Hoskinson, knowing the
Right.
players, knowing the
Right.
team, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, I think that's the Tether thing is going to be a big issue.
Let me ask you this. I mean, Jazzy, Frankie Legend,
Yeah.
Crypto Navigator, is it just me, or did it seem like for so long Binance was untouchable? They were so
Yes.
big that people were just like, oh, they'll never take them down. Oh, they're just too big. Oh, not CZ.
Yes.
You know, and it was even more evident because he would always get, and look, you can look at everything. We're doing everything legit. I mean, he just made it seem like they were on point. And isn't that kind of what Tether's been doing? But the difference is CZ back in the day said at some point there's some things that started to leak out about them telling their employees to notify certain people. The governments were watching them. It was all these things that were coming out that we were like, damn, how could they get away with that? Well, at one point, Tether also said, hey, at one point we weren't back dollar for dollar. Hey, we were kind of, in the gray areas until we weren't. I mean, that's literally what they said. I mean, it's documented. They were like, look, we were not pegged dollar for dollar until we figured it out. Oh, by the way, let's buy some government security bonds. Let's buy some Bitcoin. Let's get ourselves. I'm just saying, what are you buying that with? Printed Tether? Okay, that's how you caught up. I'm just saying, like, all I'm saying is you're too big until you're not. And I mean, what I should say is you're too big until they want to make an example of you. And that's what happened with Binance at the right moment. That's what happened with FTX, Binance, and now the biggest player in the game, in my opinion, is Tether. And again, I could be wrong, but damn it, I just think we need. It's kind of like that detox tea I took earlier today, which is why I was a little late to this damn stream. It works, by the way. But I think we need a damn detox in this system. I think they need to stop handpicking these characters that got away with all this. And look, yeah, they got FTX, yeah, they got Binance, yeah, they could go after Tether, but while they're doing that, they're allowing all these companies to continuously work in the gray area, all these coins. And I personally think they're allowing, it's kind of like when the government knows a lot of these drug cartels, whatever, they're doing what they're not supposed to be doing, and they just let them until they figure out a way to bring them down. I think that's kind of what's going on. Yeah.
I agree.
I think they would let them. I think the governments let the cartels do what they do as long as it benefits the governments, if that makes sense.
Well,
Well,
yeah.
Well, Binance is that with Binance, I don't know if you guys remember this. There was a time when somebody either stole a bunch of Bitcoin from Binance and it affected customers' wallets. And CZ came on. I remember he did a Twitter live stream or Periscope back in there, or whatever, and was like, no, we're not gonna let this happen. We're gonna make everybody whole. And that's what made Binance seem like they were larger than life and they couldn't be taken down. I remember when that happened.
Well, the United States government is one of the largest holders of Bitcoin, and if Bitcoin was going to go away or the whole system was going to go down, why wouldn't they just sell their Bitcoin right now at like the top of the market? You know what I mean? So, and that has to do with a lot with this liquidity that I go back to talking about. We need to have a lot of liquidity in this market before we can have some major players cash out. We got all these ETFs that just came out, hot as could be. How long you think they're going to get before they're going to be impatient and want to cash out, especially when the numbers keep going up? So that is going to be some major liquidity pulls. You're going to see 20, 30% corrections in a day. When that's going to happen is going to be the question. But, this catalyst moment of bringing everything down, I think is going to be a while, but it's just going to be inevitable. It's going to be the perfect storm to just get everything in line. All these regulations, that the Ripple test was the perfect example, the shiny new little object that everybody can focus on, doing everything right from the beginning. Nobody else was, etc. So I said it before, I'm going to say it again, many streams that I've done, I think it's going to be the great catalyst to also bring a lot of cryptos together.
Yeah.
And run on other chains. You're starting to see partnerships with like Algorand and XRP talking. There's going to be many, I believe.
Yeah.
And it'll be going under the umbrella of this new type of regulations that's put in place.
Right.
know.
But again, I think they're gonna. I think it's gonna be. I think all you guys are saying a lot of right things. And shouts out to Edo Farina. I thought Edo was asleep right now. It's 2:53 in Athens, Greece. So shouts out for being in here, Edo. If I'd have known he was up, I just assumed he was asleep. I would have had him on the stream as well. I told him to jump in, but he's probably laying in bed with his phone. This guy, mine never shuts off like mine. But I just think it's one of those narratives that yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna be quite honest. I don't know who's gonna make it, who's not gonna make it, but I think it's gonna be very interesting. I think because you look at that company Library, is it what it's called? The example they made out of them and many others. I mean, this is they're not going after people like they care. I mean, I just think when the wrath of whatever they got going on, but because like I said, I just really think there's a plan in place with the SEC and Elizabeth Warren, and they don't like to lose, man. It's a well-known fact that government does not like to lose, and more often than not, they typically don't. Except for when you're the SEC, it seems like they haven't had a great track record when it comes to certain court cases. But I just think there's something bigger in play, and I think when that gets exposed, it's going to shock a lot of people. And that's what made me really, even though I'm diversified, it made me start pulling out of certain projects because I don't like when. If you sit back and you look at a lot of these coins, especially a lot of these meme coins, and look, I got pretty good bags of certain coins, but I am going to cash out of certain coins way before I cash out of XRP and many other coins because those are long-term plays. And I just don't see long-term where some of these coins are going to be and the problems are going to solve long-term. I just don't see it. So anyways.
Well, I actually think that there will still be meme coins eventually in the future. I mean, because if they're fair launched, right, there's no team, right? So where's the violation? If people are entering that market at their own risk, it's a
Right,
speculative market, right? I mean, so
right.
you know what I mean? Like, who do you hold accountable if there's no team? It's fair launched, it's decentralized. What can they do?
Yeah,
And you're
it's
trying
going to
to,
be interesting.
do the big whales not buy meme coins? Yes, they do.
Yeah,
They make a
yeah,
lot of
yeah.
money off them, right? So I mean,
No, yeah, that's good. That's
think it
true.
could happen. I just don't. The timing of everything, I don't know that Tether needs to come down. Could it come down? Yeah. Do I want just to have USDC available as a stable coin? Probably not. I don't like any type of monopoly on the stable coins.
Yeah, yeah,
I do think there is a path where XRP can be, get that. I don't know if it'll get the if we will get the regulation after the case is settled. I think the case will be settled. I think a lot of that's just going to happen in the bear market. There's too much money in BTC and the ETFs and the crypto market now for it to fail. You're talking about the biggest asset managers in the world.
yeah. No,
Trillions of
yeah, fail. No, I don't think fail. No, fail's
yeah.
not failure's not an option, but a retracement, a very needed, maybe healthy one before we go up to the other side. I do believe when you have people like Michael Saylor and Kathy Woods with ARK Investments doing some of these price predictions, I think just because big money follows big money, we'll get there. Because they look at it as the new digital gold, we'll get there. But I think for the masses, yeah, no, I agree with you, Frank. It's not that all. I don't think all meme coins will go bye bye. I just
And
think
I
that, like,
agree that
yeah,
90% are crap. They're
yeah,
scams. We're just making money
yeah.
off them.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
I
And
agree.
that's the part that I've seen so many of them, especially if you've been around since 2017. There's so many of them that don't exist that we were so hyped up about. Oh, Safe Moon's going to be
Yes.
this and this is going to be that, and they're gone. And there's actually legit projects that were in the top 50 gone.
Yeah.
And I mean with utility. So like I said, I don't know how this is going to play out, but I'm just making sure that I'm smart. I've been around long enough to say, you know what, not all, and I'm not going to say not all money is good money, but I'm just being smarter with my approach. The longer I'm in this, the smarter I'm getting, it seems like. But go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I mean, what do we really have to go off of? When you're looking at a crypto project,
Yeah.
some are better than others. But you look at the tokenomics, the market cap, the
Mhm.
circulating supply. There's a little paragraph on coin market cap. There's a white paper, 20 pages, maybe 15 pages. Then you got a website, right? You really don't have a whole lot, right? So
Right.
that's
That's
why a
right.
lot of people, you want to allocate a lot of money, or not a lot of money, but a good portion of whatever you're investing into those blue chips. Like you're talking about XRP, you got
Right.
Solana, ETH, Bitcoin. You want to be you want to have your safe plays, and then you want to have like your gamble plays, like you talked
Right.
about, Jay,
Right.
with your diversification of the plan. You want to, we all invest in the meme coins, and when we have some other ones that are low caps,
Right.
the low caps are how the average guy becomes makes life-changing wealth.
Look,
You know,
there's some incredible stories out there, and I don't want to tell their story, but I'll talk very briefly about. It's not my story to tell, but like the guys over at Fruition, I won't tell their whole business because I think they want to come tell that on the channel. But these guys, the reason I got so much respect for them because they utilize the system to become wealthy, not rich, but wealthy, and they did that by jumping into Doge early. They took that money and they rolled it over to Shiba when it came out. They took that money, and by the time they rolled it over again, they got into some. They're wealthy, and they were able to do that, which is why they're funding this whole movement with Fruition Productions, because they were. And I remember Maya and Chris tell me they said we were just sick of our 9-to-5. We were sick of it, so we came up with a plan, understanding that we weren't going to hold those coins long term. I mean, it's not like we thought Doge was going to save, whatever, but they just kept rolling money until it created wealth, and that was a phenomenal. They said we're not going to get into how much, but that to me that's just huge, and that's a beautiful story of someone doing it the right way, instead of coming in and going, oh my God, because I got friends who were at the top of the mountain in 2021, and they're right back to having us focus on that job when they were literally a millionaire. In 2021. So I'm just saying you got to be careful, guys, and got to have a plan. We talk about it all the time. But hey, guys, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for being on. This has been incredible. I would normally like to go a lot longer, but I do want to respect my brothers over at the boardroom. I know they're getting ready to start up here in a minute. So I'm going to ask all you guys who are here right now, let's get over there to the boardroom. Let's support Uncle Buster, Berserker, Crypto Tales, Crypto Navigator. I'll probably be jumping on myself. We're all family here, so definitely. And also check out Crypto Navigator. I believe you're on tomorrow, brother. Is that right?
Tomorrow night at 9, yeah.
9 Eastern Standard Time, which is okay. Yeah. So 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for those of you guys in California, Vegas, or Pacific Standard Time, and then 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Crypto Navigator. I might be jumping on his stream as well. We'll see. And I'm going to try to stick around for the boardroom as well. And then make sure you guys check out in the mornings. You got myself, you got OCKJ over there with IBF. This is just one big community, guys. Make sure you support Edo Farina, support Versan, DAI. Shouts out to all those guys. Will Fix, who's been very supportive. Lewis Jackson, who just messaged me while I was on the stream. And we've got, by the way, we got some incredible guests that are coming up, guys. So make sure you guys tune in. Look forward to some really phenomenal interviews. Matter of fact, I think I got one tomorrow. I'll confirm, which might be Cassius Cuvée, who had a lot of ties in with BitBoy and that whole thing. So we might be asking some questions about that as well. So anyways, guys, appreciate you guys. Anything you guys want to add before we get out of here?
Yeah, I want to say shout out to the chat and 68J. Thanks for having me on. Shout out to Crypto Navigator and Frankie. It's good stuff.
My brother DJ Jazzy XRP. I appreciate you, my brother Frankie Legend. If you guys don't know,
it's been a pleasure, y'all.
One of our really good friends of our family. And congratulations on your proposal too, brother. Make sure that we get an invite to the wedding.
Oh, absolutely.
And shouts out to my brother Crypto Navigator. By the way, shouts out to the entire Crypto for Life family or Crypto Navigator family, whatever family you're here representing, whether it's DJ Jazzy, XRP, or one of Frankie Legend's family. Make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe, hit the notification bell so you guys don't miss anything. And we will see you guys soon. Appreciate you guys. Much love. It's your boy James, aka 68J. And until next time, peace. Guys, we're